Good morning, everybody. How's it going? What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are well. Hey, Imster, how are you? We're getting started late today, so this is going to be a little bit of a different vibe, obviously, because, whoops, we are on Verdict Watch. Um, Hello. And, hey, Tori, how's it going? Hey, Liz. Hey, Meredith. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm still funky, but way better off than I was yesterday. As the day went on yesterday, I got worse and worse, but I felt better than the day before. So we'll see how today goes with that. Hey, Audra, Scotty, Bar, what's going on? I appreciate it, Tori. Hey, Christina. See, I'm trying to catch up with myself here. So this is basically what we're gonna do, y'all. I just wanted to come on. I'm gonna be in and out, like getting stuff done around the house and whatnot, but I wanted to just have this set up and ready to go. So I'll be like touching base throughout and whatnot. So I'm not gonna be like necessarily sitting here all day long on here, but I mean I'm gonna leave this up and running and checking in with it. Like if I'm not here, I'll have my phone on me and whatnot. Oh, thanks, Amy. I appreciate it. Um, so, I mean, we'll see. I feel like it's not, I mean, I feel like we'll have the verdict today, but I don't know anything, right? Pardon me. So we'll have to see. I'm gonna do a little banner to do at the bottom. And then we're gonna come up here. Oh, cool. Thank you, Tori. I appreciate it. So they went to the case went to the jury yesterday afternoon, and I feel like around 8 o'clock. I could be wrong. Um, they did their thing. So yeah, you're fine. Yeah, I've got I gotta get it out of the truck. Excuse me, but there goes the yawns. That's all it takes is me thinking about it. And that start up. Thanks, Ezra. Yeah, I've been doing I actually ate a protein bar this morning, but outside that it's been applesauce, rice, and toasted banana. The Brat diet, yeah. The Charlie XCX diet. Yeah, the defense is closing. And I didn't get to talk much yesterday. So if you were streaming with me yesterday, basically at a certain point, I just had the camera off and I was just kind of sitting there, just like kicked back on the sofa. I felt so bad. But Matt was next to me doing a presentation, so I couldn't like talk. You know what I mean? I couldn't turn the thing on once they were done. I I'm surprised that the defense went in at like just like the we're digging our heels in over the Hunter thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that was their thing. I felt like there were so many other avenues that they could have attempted. Anyway, Audra said, "Did you hear that the judge won't allow audio when the verdict is read because he doesn't want the jurors' voices heard? Afterward, it would be repeated." Oh, wow, I didn't know that, Audra. That's good on him for doing that. He's really protective over those jurors. I'll give it that to him. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, when the defense started yelling, it was so cringy. It was so cringy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna get started doing stuff around here. I'm gonna kind of be in and out. But I gotta run out to the car and start with my coffee first. So I will be back in a few. sorry. I had to run out and get some stuff. I've got my little heating pad going on. Yeah, I feel like the verdict's going to come today as well, because this is, and y'all tell me what you think. I think that, I mean, personally for me, obviously, I feel like the state proved their case, right? Almost on it. Hey, young black economist, good morning. How are you? Um, and I feel like they proved their case, right? Number one, just filling out the paperwork, okay? Like, that's going to take them a while, okay? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even if they go in there, they have to do their vote, see where everybody's at. I think that with the parts where they'll go back and forth a little bit is on first degree. You know what I mean? Like when you get into the main charges of that component, I think could see them having discussions over that. You know what I mean? Of being like, well, what about this and what about that? What about this and what about that? And then from there, a lot of the other things to me is just it's very easily proved. You know, like when you get into lying to the police and abuse of a corpse or things like this, it's like that's but who you never know. You never know. Yeah, Summer says, and good morning, Summer. Summer says, I think it'll be today, probably take a few hours because there's so many charges. I mean, yeah, exactly. Hey, Deb, how's it going? I know, right? Beautiful says, yeah, the paperwork alone. Oh my God, like Paul said yesterday, had I been going over the jury instructions alone, we'd still be here from yesterday going over them. 100, me too. If I was a judge, I would have had to stop from time to time. Like, I'm just gonna kick my head back for a minute, y'all, and just shut my eyes. I'm not sleeping. I'm just resting my eyes. Let alone the reading through that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like just so if they go through and do votes on each charges, just to go through and vote each time and say guilty, yes, fill it out. Pretend they didn't have any discrepancies. Like they all were like, yep, guilty on everything, just fill the paperwork out. It's gonna take them a minute. They're gonna have conversations and talking and that kind of stuff. And also, and I was thinking about this yesterday, like when you get back there and you can finally talk to each other about it, they're gonna be like, what in the hey diddle diddle did we just watch? Like, this is insane. Like, just the trauma of the pictures alone that they've probably seen of that poor little baby. I mean, the world that they were introduced to in this trial is crazy. And see, one thing that's tricky with this, and I mean, granted, being in the town where they're at, it's probably been like you can only imagine how big of a story this is. But I don't know, like if you're not true crime, if you're not in that world like us, like watching it and all that kind of stuff, pardon me, I don't know if the jurors, if they're not that way, would know how major this case is. Also, pardon me, because was it popped off so many years ago, and like everyone was covering it, and then it just kind of disappeared for a while, and then came back up. It's almost like it was like, oh, that's still going on. That hasn't been resolved, or you know what I'm saying. So I wonder if the jurors know what I'm getting at is the the level of trial and case that they're working on. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to say popularity, but like um headlines or I don't know how the word I'm looking for to describe it. Notorious is maybe the word I'm looking for. The level of notoriety of this case. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Hold on. Let me get my thing over here. Please help. I think I have some things over here. Please help. Please help. Everyone, please help. Please help. Let me do this. Boom and bam. I said boom, shakalaka. Boom, shakalaka. Boom. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I basically was up all night long. There we go. Okay. What did we just happen? Hey Heather, how's it going? I'm surprised at you because I was sitting here like, hey Caroline, how's it going? Um, hey Lisa. I'm surprised at Rado too, because in my world I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe next week I can go. Maybe next Monday. Excuse me. And then it was like, oh, okay, we're done. Yvonne says she must fall asleep while they're doing the jury instructions. I know. Like that part, I get why they do it and they have to do it, obviously. But it's like, oh my God, when they have this many charges and whatnot. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Yeah, the behavioral panel did Megan Boswell. If you follow them, I haven't watched it yet, but somebody sent it to me too. Um, check it out. I love watching there. I also emailed Deception Detective and was like, her, telling him about this trial, and I was like, oh, you should go check out some of her interviews and videos. I'd love to hear his perspective. Dr. Barry and I are going to be doing a live chat on Sunday, and a pre-recorded video to go on the main channel about Megan Boswell because I got questions. Right? Stitch says, good thing you didn't drive out yesterday, Paul. You would have had to sit and listen to all this chart. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Ooh, let me tell you what. Teresa or Tressa says, my sister works in an office with somebody named Megan Boswell. She's about to change her name. Honestly, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I get it. Especially if you lived in that area. Oh my God. I've not heard any kind of feedback, but y'all might know more than I do as far as like what the jurors are doing and saying and whatnot. So yeah, Dr. Barry's great. Mm. Okay, well, I'm gonna go do a couple of things and then I'll be right back. So for people just joining, as you see, we're verdict watch. We're just kind of waiting around. I'm kind of coming and going. I'm doing stuff around the house and whatnot. I've got my phone on me to check in with chat, and I'll come back here and talk throughout the day, or obviously until the thing happens or whatever. That's kind of it. So I'll be back again in a few. Shooby dooby doo. Okay, wait. We have what's going on here? Why do we have this? Why? What we've got? What's going on here? I was getting ready to leave, and now they turned the camera on. Does this mean something? Yeah, hold on, hold on. I might have spoke too soon. There's no volume. He's like, look. I think they're just waiting around. If they've got by 9:36, y'all, if they've got a verdict, they just came in and filled that paperwork out. They could have been filling the paperwork. They could have been filling the paperwork out yesterday. It would be, I would love that for Evelyn if they were already finished. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't even have to ask twice, okay? Like, we just had to fill this damn paperwork out. Like, that's all we had. There was no questions, you know, literally just formalities. Yeah, I think probably they're gonna like get stuff going or whatever. Yeah, because think about like, so if you were the, and again, I keep thinking about this because I kind of like view our viewpoint here at the sofa is almost like a juror, right? And I know that like we, you know, we kind of take the lighthearted approach and stuff like that. But regardless, it's kind of like we're looking at it through maybe a juror's, you know, perspective or whatever. Um, Now somebody was saying earlier that they're going to do the verdict in silence to protect the jurors' voices, and then they'll repeat it. Yeah, they could just be turning the cameras on. I mean, I don't know why they would be getting all ready like this though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they definitely have to have Megan. And I'm assuming that she's in the holding area, which is either downstairs or, I mean, she's somewhere at the courthouse, right? She looked nervous as all get out yesterday. Okay. When they finished, the way she looked, she was scared. That was honestly the first time I have seen that out of her. Obviously, publicly, other people, you know, whatever, they might have the behind the scenes have seen that. But literally, that was the first time I have ever seen her. Thank you, Jeannie. Scared. Thank you, Tori. So now y'all help me out here on the. Hold on, let me go get my heater. Hold on, please hold. Okay, sorry. Got my little heating thing, got my little heater. I mean, I literally think they just went and filled the paperwork out. I mean, I don't think they had to question a lot of it, right? It's just, I don't think so. In the case of Anthony Repeat, I don't think there will be because there's so many charges. So, like, pretend that they came back and did not convict her of the murders. They have so many other charges they hit her with that they could literally sit there and be like consecutive, 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 consecutive. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I mean, I know it's like, well, but she still got out the murder charges, you know, but I don't think I think they charge her with so many different things that no matter what, she's toast. It's negative 23 in North Dakota. Wow, Leanne, I hope you were like snuggled, buggled, warm, and cozy. Emily sent me pictures this morning of where she's housing at. I mean, I'm talking snow, y'all. Now it's beautiful, but I'm like, ooh. Black Economist says I have shorts on today. I have shorts on too. I wear, but I don't know if this is true, but I'll wear shorts almost year round. I think a lot of guys are like that, like that. I mean, it's like 40 something, and I've got shorts on, and this, and like a t-shirt. Now, I am a little bit cold. Obviously, I did not think through when I left this morning, where I was like, "What are you doing, Paul?" Um, but yeah, you got another snowstorm, Chrissy. -3 in Minneapolis. Flip flops in the winter. Yeah, 37. Oh my gosh. -37 with the wind chill. Wow. Amy says my husband will not wear shorts. Now there are some dudes that it's like their jeans and boots. Like you're never gonna see them in like any kind of flip flop. You're never gonna see them in shorts. My dad was that way. My dad never wore shorts. Ever, 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 ever. His stomach is feeling better. I would say on the Richter scale of 100%, we're at 75%. Yesterday we are at 50, but as the day wore on, that's why I had to cut my camera off because I was just like, I am toast. I could not. And this is one thing. I don't know if y'all are like this. Okay, but I mean, number one, it sucks if you don't feel good, right? We all get that. Okay, so when you don't, or when I lay down too long, like I'll get a headache. You know what I'm saying? And I need to sit up or whatever. Well, because yesterday I was on the sofa and then from the sofa went to the bed. I wasn't really tired, but I felt so bad I didn't want to get up. You know what I'm saying? And so then I kept going. I would sleep for like 30 minutes, wake up, and then need to switch positions because my head hurt so bad from laying down, but I didn't want to do anything else. It was like this weird conundrum, and I finally fell asleep. I got on the sofa where you saw me yesterday and just kind of like bundled up, and that was it. I mean, I'll bet you Megan is freaking out. It's going to be a huge change for her because she's going to be, I mean, most likely going to prison. Um, I mean, again, even if they found her not guilty on half the charges, she would be doing serious time. They hit her with everything possible. You miss this most post men / women wear shorts all year round. Yeah. See places too, like so here where I'm at, like North Carolina, in the central, like the center of North Carolina, our weather Monday it was like 70 something, and then the next day it was like snowing. You know what I'm saying? So you know, Tori is a trooper. Like that night that we all had dinner, I was freezing, and Tori's like in his t-shirt. She's like, "No, this is great." It even went beyond my scope of what I'm cooking, because most of the time I'll wear stuff that people are like, "Aren't you freezing? Like, you know, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "No, this feels great." Like, yeah. So, but Tori even went way beyond like what I was like, "Girl." But I get it. It's like I'm a little heater, right? Like I exude like tons of heat or whatever. So that's why I'm just like, mm-mm. Like I would rather be able to put clothes on. Don't ask me to be hot though. Like I like the extreme heat. I don't do well. Oh my god, y'all! I don't know where I saw this. If it was Law and Crime or whatever. God bless them. The two, or it could have. I don't know if it was local. I don't know. Anyways, a mother was basically living in her car and ran out of gas, and her two little boys froze to death. Did y'all see that? And like basically it's like one of them had stopped breathing, and she contacted, it was weird the way the article was written, because it's almost like then once people came, she took the car and went to the hospital or whatever. And I'm like, why didn't the ambulance take them? And then on the way she realized that the other boy had stopped breathing. um I mean, just absolutely horrible. It might have been Chicago, Christina. I felt like it was in a state where it's like cold, cold. Not that that can't happen even here, but you know what I'm saying? Was it Detroit and meme? There were two other adults in the car. I just can't. Detroit. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, things go down south very quickly in the elements. You know what I'm saying? That's right. That's right. She called the family and asked for assistance, and nobody followed up. Well, I hope that they can sleep well. Yeah, you know, that they can sleep well with themselves now. Two little boys are dead. That's so sad. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no telling what kind of situation she's in to put herself in that situation. Because there's a so near over where Matt and I are, there's a Walmart, and I don't know how to describe it, but like it's a big complex, whatever, with multiple things in it. And like there's one section of the parking that's almost like I'll say off in the cut, right? Well, this is clearly the place that like say the people who work the corners, not like streetwalkers, but like people asking for money and things like that. You can tell that this is where they'll park their cars. And there's some people who clearly are like living in their cars there. And they park there. They kind of like just, they live in this part of the parking lot, I guess. Some of them are nice cars, and some of them it's like, you know, you would never. Like, there's this one dude who I'll see, he'll be on the phone or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, if I saw this dude out, I wouldn't necessarily think that he was homeless, you know, but I mean, for whatever the situation is, here they are. But also there's so many things that can go wrong in that, right? Like when you're talking about seriously cold weather, running out of gas, whatever the case may be. Um, they got me on pins and needles. I'm guessing they said a certain time. Okay, it's for real. She's like, hey there. She's got a little bow today. She got herself a little bow. I mean, I would think that her lawyer would have discussed with her, like, this is most likely what this looks like for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to be whatever about it. You're most likely cooked. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're most likely cooked, girl. And meme says, I now hate bows. I mean, I would just love to know what's ticking around in her head. Like, what makes her do and say the things and all that. Thanks, Ezra. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out this whole time and everybody being cool and making the chat so awesome. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Donna, how's it going? Hey, Farmer. Thanks, Weedy. Thanks, Izzy. So, people just joining, we are waiting on the verdict, or we're waiting on the jury to come in. That's what we're doing. So, the verdict's apparently in, and we're getting the jury in, and apparently it's going to be a silent verdict. The judge doesn't want the jurors' voices heard, and after they do that, I don't understand. Okay, I was like, what's going on? Thanks, Donna. I know. Thank you, Mandian. Right? Oh, thanks, Chrissy. I appreciate it. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Hey, Indy. I hope you're feeling better. See y'all for just, pardon me, for just, what was I saying? For just today. Oh, no. For those just joining. Gosh, that's bad. Can't even get my words straight. For those just joining, the verdict apparently is in, and we are simply waiting on them to do whatever they do. Oh. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. I appreciate it, Farmer. Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling better today. I'd say I'm about 75%. Basically, as the day wears on, I start to kind of, you know what I mean, fall off. So I'm very thankful that they got a verdict so soon. I feel like they're doing some kind of like taking. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Now, y'all, my understanding is that this is a silent verdict. Hey, Tara. Thanks, Kathleen. Okay, I think she's crying. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. I bet you they hit her with first degree. She was found guilty of first degree, guilty on all three counts. Wow. Hold on. So guilty of murder, but what does that mean? This person's saying, I'm just reading through tweets, guilty of first degree murder, felony murder, and all other charges. I mean, maybe she really thought she was going home. or at some point. On live TV courtroom. Okay, let me go look at that. Please hold. Well, I'm just gonna have to wait. I can't seem to find. He's like, look, Judge, I just want to say I didn't like her either. Yeah, I didn't. There, I said it. Okay, I'll sit back down. Okay, there we go. Now we'll probably hear from him here now in a minute. There's the courtroom photographer who almost got 10 days in jail, I guess. So, y'all, they literally just went back there and filled the paperwork out.
Murder.
Had a good night's rest. Here we go.
In count 2, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of first-degree murder and the perpetration of a felony, with the judgment of this court, you are guilty.
Am I gonna fry?
In count
Yeah.
3,
You're gonna fry.
a jury of your peers having found you guilty of first-degree murder and the perpetration of a felony, it's a judgment of this court, you are guilty. In count 4, a judgment of your peers having found you guilty of aggravated child abuse, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 5, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of aggravated child neglect, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 6, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of tampering with evidence, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 7, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 8, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 9, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 10, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 11, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 12, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. Count 13, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. Count 14, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 15, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 16, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 17, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of false report, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In count 19, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of abuse of a corpse, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. And in count 20, a jury of your peers having found you guilty of failure to report a death under suspicious, unusual, or unnatural circumstances, it's a judgment of the court, you are guilty. In counts 4 through 20, the jury did not assess a fine, so there'll be no fine assessed in those counts. Now we'll be in recess about 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Stands in recess.
Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Wow. Man, that's crazy, y'all. I mean, not crazy like unexpected, but just like, yes, if, they're going to sentence her now. Since let me catch myself here. Since she was found guilty of these serious charges, I mean, this is a very swift process, right? I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm reading things about the jurors. Thank God. Yeah, because this thing, you never know. Okay, you never know what's going to happen. Hey, John, how's it going? And so, I mean, even though it looks so obvious, I mean, this is like a whatever. You just never know. Um, they could have sat in there and squabbled and whatnot. But here's the thing: this is Tennessee. This is you show a jury. I think Joshua was saying this too in the thing we did. You show a jury pictures of a baby in the condition that little Evelyn was left in. I mean, it's not. You're having something done, right? It's just, pardon me. It is what it is. I guess Samantha brings up a good point. Any other defendant would have been handcuffed right there in the courtroom in front of their peers. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't do that. And I mean, again, I guess she was kind of, I mean, I guess she was kind of surprised. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, because to me, when I'm watching her cry, I'm just like, were you, I mean, what were you thinking? Like, I would love to know what like, this is most likely what I think is going to happen. Surely she didn't think she was going to go home today, right? I could see her thinking like, oh, maybe I'll get like a 25-year sentence. Like I'll go home eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Summer says, I think it's more so the finality of it. Yeah, I think that could be it too, where it's like, oh, it's done, right? It's like that process has started of, here we go. We don't have to worry about A, B, or C. It's finished. Now I know. The unknowingness was probably hard. Yeah, I love the fact that they did not take long. I think they literally went back and just like did a quick little, you know, y'all cool with guilty? Do we need to talk about anything? I would love to hear what they had to say. I imagine, again, I could imagine them having some more conversations about the first three mega charges. Barb says they made up their mind days ago. I agree. Honey, they had already started filling that paperwork out days ago. About day two, they were like, hand me the paper, hand me that paper and pen. Let's go ahead and start filling this out right here. I've already seen enough. I mean, knowing what the evidence is, and I guess that this, I mean, honestly, she probably was like, I don't have anything else to lose. You know what I mean? So why not? Because seeing the evidence, it's just like with Sarah Boone. Like, why would you take this to trial? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you take this to trial? The evidence is so damning. Yeah, I'd be curious to know if she has family there. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Shelly says they probably decided after opening statements, to be honest. Honestly. She's going to have to do, but I mean, she's out here talking about, oh, excuse me, TBI's not doing their job, this, that, and the other. This town's not going to forget this. You know what I'm saying? Just like Susan Smith, like look at Susan Smith as a prime example. Her, whatever you call it, parole hearing, first one. Look at the outpouring. It's like it happened yesterday, right? Of all the damage that has done to countless lives and whatnot. And that's the thing. When you start to get into these insanely heinous crimes that typically, are against children, vulnerable populations, the whole 9 yards, people don't forget, and that stretches far and wide. Um, so I'm sorry to keep yawning. It's starting to hit me where I'm like, oh, I'm ready to get back in bed. Um, Insanely heinous crimes. I guess it did sound like that, didn't it? Chad Doberman is having a trial. No. Doberman, I forgot all about him. Oh my God. Talk about him. Let's go see what he's doing. I forgot all about him. Oh, wait, he pled guilty to aggravated murder. Life in prison without parole. Will he even live? I mean, come on. Judge is like, now listen, it's hot in here. The AC is broke. Yeah, Emily says, props this judge who had no nonsense hits at his court. Amen, sister. This has, and you think too, like even for the judges and the people like this, I mean, this is 5 years in the making. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was looking at True Crime Menaces. I heard Daryl Brooks got moved because he was assaulted. I mean, he definitely got moved, and yeah, there's something up with that. Something went down with him. Another one that I'm surprised is still alive. But first, Champagne says little Evelyn would be in kindergarten today. Yep. Yesterday, while we were waiting, I was like kind of doing stalking, professional stalking on Megan's Facebook. And it's interesting how many photographs she posted of Evelyn. Again, you just have to wonder, hold on, what happened? What, you know what I mean? I think we've kind of been answered that, but it's like, how do you go from doting on your daughter? Oh, my little thing's going to be this age. Oh, she's going to be this. Oh, to where we're at now. And just like that. Oh God, I would love it if she made a mistake, Michelle. Yeah, attention. Yeah. I mean, isn't it by default like it's kind of out of the judge's hands with the sentences, except for maybe like consecutive? As you better do. Yeah, true. Yeah. What if she comes out in stripes? Like, go on, take that bow out, girl. Sorry. Man, I'm glad I called this morning. Because I was sitting here, I was like, maybe I should wait to leave till later. And then I was like, no, Paul, because then if you drive over, that'll be when the verdict comes. And I was right. I listened to my inner voice this time. I think she'll appeal, and I don't think it'll really go anywhere. She was so obvious in what she did and lied so much. I mean, when they start, that's the thing, when they start putting that evidence up there, I was like, but again, if you've ever met pathological liars like her, where, and I don't know how to describe it, but like you see them, like, especially when you see in real time what they do, they just are literally living in that moment. Like they don't have any thought about a repercussion of a lie they tell right now. I think in their world, they're like, oh, well, I'll just have to lie to get over that one, and then that one, and then that one, and that one. So with someone like Megan, where it's like, what? This is just normal. You know what I'm saying? This is just par for the course. Hey, Ann, how's it going? I said it should be do. Should be do. Yeah, I was just in Sewanee. Is that how you say it? Is that considered East Tennessee? Or it might be a little bit deeper. Beautiful area. Yeah, I think she's going to be sentenced April. Thanks, Picky Girl. I'm at 75% out of 100 today. I'm buffering. Here comes the judge. Hey, Helen, thanks for asking. Um, yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm about 75%. It's more middle. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely I finally got some sleep. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to go. Please hold. Currently processing your order. Processing your order will be with you momentarily. I think it'd be funny if they made her change into her prison stripes or whatever they wear in jail. Thanks, Kelly. Orange is Megan's new color. What's this up here? Just oh, thank you, just scrapping. It's good to see you. That's really sweet of you. And Roskins for at Bo and like that's so sweet. I appreciate it, just scrapping. I hope you've been doing well. Just scrapping. It's good seeing your name. I've been on, and I don't know what you would call this, but like on TikTok, it's the algorithm of showing me clips from like Maria Antoinette movie with Kirsten Dunst and like all those kind of shows and stuff, where it's like, and also like how it really was back then as far as hygiene goes and stuff like that. You know, when you sit here, and this is completely opposite. I don't even know what made me think of this. Oh, the infant side. When you sit here and look back on times like that, where it's like, how did we, pardon me, with infection and disease and stuff like that, it's just crazy. Like how far we've come from that. Yeah, I need to watch it. I've seen so many clips of it now, and now I'm like, okay, now it's gotten me interested in that like historical narrative, right? Kirsten Dunst is, she said, I just love her vibe. And Versailles, or how you, Versailles or Versailles, how do you say it? Versace? Is that the Versace of the Versailles? Um, that's another one that I keep seeing clips of. And yeah, it just seems like so complicated. And when you like look at the age of people getting married off and this and that, it's like it's so wild to me where I'm like, huh? I need to investigate this. Oh, stripes on your present kit means you're an escapee. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Linus, what happened on Hidden True Crime last night? What'd they do? Was it about Megan? Oh, okay, cool. Hey, McGraw. So for those just joining, we're just waiting for the judge to come back. Megan has been found guilty on all counts. She's toast, and I think we're coming back to do sentencing.
Mr. Scott, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
We need to bring the defendant in.
Because we're prepared for 2 witnesses right now. We have a witness still on the way. She's not far away, hopefully.
Well, the state will go first, and then
Here we go.
I don't think it's going to help much.
Bring in the convict. What if it's her mom? What if it's her mom? He's like, I'm so ready to be done with this. I'm sure on their level, it has to be like, I don't know if annoying's right. Nope, they let her stay dressed.
all right. If the jury is ready, we'll bring him in.
All rise, the jury. That would be funny. She came out with stripes and the ball as she was carrying the ball. They already got her work in the line. They got a shovel. What? Like, they do not mess around. They don't mess around. There be people in mid crime seeing that and be like, never mind, it's not worth it. They had defendants carrying the damn ball and chain out to the sentencing table. Next shift starts at 1 o'clock. I mean, come on now. You better eat 2 bologna sandwiches. You're going to be putting in some work this afternoon. Yeah, she came back with face tattoo. She's like she's been away.
I gave it to you yesterday.
You may be seated. Thank you.
All right, General.
I'm going to mute myself, y'all.
Judge, stay with introduce it. I'm sorry.
You can do an opening statement if you'd like to.
Okay, no, state doesn't need to do the opening statement.
Do you have an opening?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. He's going to do an opening. This will be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, although I may not agree with your verdict, I respect your verdict. I respect you. I thank you for your time. And I have one more thing to ask you. You have to make a decision now, and that decision is it's going to mean the difference. If you sentence Megan Boswell to life in prison, she'll be released when she is probably 69 years old. It'll be 8. She's been in jail. You probably realize she has been in jail since she was 18 years old. She went to jail February the 25th of 2020, and she hasn't been released. So with that said, if you give her a life sentence, it would be 51 years. That's what I'm asking you to do. If you give her a life without sentence, she will never be released from prison. That's the difference. So it'll be the difference between her being released at what I believe would be 69 to 70 years old or never being released. In doing this process, and Judge Goodwin will read you some very short jury instructions compared to what you heard yesterday. You look at statutory aggravating factors and mitigating factors. In this case, the state will submit the age of the child as the aggravating factor. Our mitigating factors, we've listed several of those. They include no significant criminal history, her youth and age at the time the offense was committed. She was 17 when she had Evelyn. She was 18 when Evelyn died. You'll hear more about her unstable and chaotic home life. You'll hear from her mother, Angela Boswell. She's here today. You'll hear from Angela about domestic violence that Megan witnessed between her parents. You'll hear from Angela about drug use that Megan witnessed her parents engage in. You also hear about her schooling. It wasn't seamless, and how one of her primary role models was her grandfather, Tommy Boswell's father. He died when I think she was 11 or 12 years old. You'll hear that. And finally, you'll hear a little bit about her younger siblings, Elijah and Charlotte. Elijah has a disability that Megan has looked after him and tried to help take care of him. And then you're also feel free to look at any other thing you've heard in the proof and making that decision as far as mitigating factor. Anything else you've heard in all the proof from any of the witnesses, and also you'll probably hear from Gail Kite. You've heard from her once before, but you'll hear a little bit more from her about the shape Megan was in when she came into her home, and you'll hear from we expect to call Mary Boswell. She is Megan's grandmother. I think most of you recognize the name Old Mommy at this point. You'll hear from her and what she witnessed and her participation in raising Megan. So it's a hard decision. It's not a light decision. You've made a hard decision already. And it's my hope that after you see this, you will come to the conclusion that maybe at 69 years old, it would be fair for her to be released from prison.
Hold on, y'all. Phone call. I'll be right back.
General proof.
Yes, Judge. This time the state will produce a copy of birth certificate of Evelyn Boswell.
All right. That'll be exhibit 262. I'm going to keep the exhibits in sequential numbers, but I've started a new sheet for the sentencing part. It'll be exhibit 262. Any other proof, General?
No, Judge, that's the state address.
Mr. Scott?
Here's we call Angel Boswell. Angel Boswell.
Raise your right hand, man. State your name for me.
Angela Boswell.
You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and but the truth, man. Have a seat. If you'll pull the microphone down and talk straight into that microphone. Actually, you know what? I need to switch these.
Ready to go, Judge?
Ready.
Ma'am, state your name for the record.
Angela Boswell.
You are Megan Boswell's mother.
I am.
Ms. Boswell, you know the purpose of being here today.
I do.
I want to ask you some about Megan's home life and growing up, but I guess I want to ask you first a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
And I'm asking you these questions, Ms. Boswell. I'm not trying to embarrass you or
No,
cast any
no, sir.
aspersions.
No.
You married Tommy Boswell when you were how old?
First time 15.
You speak into that microphone just a little more, please.
The first time 15.
And when did you become pregnant with your first child with him?
I had my first in April and turned 16 in July. So,
Okay, and who is that child?
Tommy Jr.
And then you had Megan at some point. How old were you when you had Megan?
There's 8 years difference. I was almost 24.
It's okay. So let's talk about Megan's life growing up. Would it be fair to say that during her lifetime, she's witnessed drug use between you and her father?
Yes.
What type of drugs?
Opiates, mainly.
Scoot up and speak into that so the jury can hear you.
Opiates, mainly.
Did that drug use lead to other problems?
Yeah. Arguments, fighting, yes.
Okay. You say there
Strife
strife.
is what it brings, yes. Nonstop.
Is that something that went on pretty much her entire childhood
Yeah.
growing up?
Yeah, from the time she was pretty little, yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Good. Now, did she witness fights between you and her father?
Yes.
I think at some point her father was convicted of aggravated assault and kidnapping.
Yes.
Were you the victim in that?
Yes. Mm.
Do you remember ever taking Megan to any NAAA meetings with you?
Yes, I did.
How old was she when you did that?
She was probably about 7 or 8. First ones I started taking her to. 7 or 8, 8 or 9, somewhere around in there. Mm.
Now due to the strife in your home, was she raised by her grandparents to some degree?
Yes.
Okay, and what were their names?
Mary and Danny Boswell.
Mary Boswell, would that be who's known as a mommy?
Yes. Mm.
These problems, do you feel that it's partly your fault, the problems Megan's experienced?
No, absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Now, unfortunately, your problems, that they went on up into, we saw a video in here of you being brought down from the jail to talk with her in
Mhm.
2020.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So even up until the time she went to jail, you were in and out of jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I've been.
Have you been convicted of numerous crimes?
Yes.
Now, have you managed to straighten up at this point?
I have, yes.
You hoping to?
Yes. I pray every day and just, to do my best and try. I've learned the importance of a mother's role, but not for Megan, I didn't.
All right.
I failed her on that miserably.
And you're here asking the jury to give her a sentence of life as opposed to life without.
It's Maggie is at her core. She is a generous, kind-hearted person. And through all Maggie's went through, Maggie still has potential. She was trying so hard. She didn't repeat my mistakes. Maggie learned from my mistakes. And she was trying to do better with Eve. She wasn't repeating. I think she got saddled with, just because of my mistakes that she did. That was not it. That was not the case with Evelyn.
Would it be fair to say she didn't have a good role model for the mother she
No,
be?
no, she did not.
Answer any of Ms. Massengill and Mr. Harper's
Mm.
questions.
I don't have any questions, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge, at this time, I have some judgments of conviction of Tommy Boswell. I'd like to put in by agreement with Mr. Harper.
No objection, Judge.
I'd ask these to be made the next 4 exhibits.
Mr. Scott, I'm going to enter case number 61078 as exhibit 263. And the other 3 pages are 3 counts of the same case. So I'll make that a collective 263.
What is that case number you're on?
62497. Yeah, the first case is 263, case 61078, and case 62497. Those 3 pages, 264.
Your Honor, defense would call Gail Kite. Kite.
It was KYTE, right?
I believe so, Your Honor. I'll have her spell it. Just, I think she was a witness in the trial, but I'll go back to that.
Raise your right hand and state your name, please.
Gail Kite.
Ms. Kite, you solemnly swear from testimony you got to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth,
I do.
Speak out of that microphone.
Ms. Kite, good morning.
Good morning.
Just so I make sure here, spelling your last name, is it Kyte?
It is.
And Ms. Kite, you've previously testified in this hearing as a state's witness. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, thank you for coming back for this part of it. I know Ms. Boswell appreciates that. How long have you been working in foster care?
15 years.
Do you remember when Megan Boswell came to you?
I do.
Do you recall what kind of shape she was in or state?
She was in bad shape. She was one of the worst children that I'd brought in as far as neglect.
What do you mean by that?
She was very malnourished. She's very skinny. Her hair was matted to her head with lice. Impossible to even get a comb through.
Okay. Well, when she came to you, were you given any background? I imagine in foster care, you're given background or information of where this child is coming from. Were you giving any of that?
I was.
And what were you preparing for?
In the intake papers, it mentioned trauma. It mentioned rape.
Did it give you any background or any information about her family background or makeup?
Not really.
Now, you said she came to you with lice. What did you do to try to help Megan?
Well, I took her to a beauty shop because there was no way to even begin to get a comb through. It was horrible. The beauty shop wouldn't touch it. They told me I offered to pay him $100 to go out back to cut her hair. And they said that they couldn't do it. Finally, the agency that we were with found a beautician that met me at a church that was willing to come in and give Megan a haircut. They gave her a bob, which looked really cute on her. But even after that we could get a comb through, it took close to 3 weeks, maybe a month, to get rid of the lice. Were just so bad. I had to get prescription medicine from the doctor. We got 2 bottles of that. I bought the comb that you run through that's supposed to kill the lice. And I know I practically traumatized the poor child because we'd go out on the porch and I'd run that comb through trying to make sure we got all the lice, and she'd sit there and tears would run down her hair. She got tired of me. It wasn't a pleasant situation. And then even when you do that, you still got to go through, you've got to thoroughly clean the bedding. Everything in the room has to be taken down, washed in hot water. But it was a rough time for her, very rough.
And you may have said, but she came to you how old?
She was 17 years old.
She was pregnant.
17, pregnant, scared, didn't have a place to go.
And you believe that she had been raped or violently sexually assaulted. Were you given any background or information about her family, her mom and her dad?
I knew Mom was in and out of jail, and I knew her daddy owned a business.
Okay. Were you able to come to the opinion that she essentially came from a dysfunctional family?
I did.
Okay. And how long did she stay with you?
She stayed 4 months. When she came in, we got to work, got rid of the lice, got her registered for school. Where she was pregnant, she chose to do online schooling. She worked really hard getting her diploma. If a test didn't go right, she was on the phone the next day with the counselor getting it reset. I never had any problems trying to get her to do her schoolwork or anything. She hung with it.
She ever caused you any problems, disciplinary wise or anything like that?
No,
Never.
no.
And did she seem to be thriving in a structured environment?
She did. She did.
Was she making friends?
She did.
Did she seem to be progressing and coming out of the state she was in when she came to you?
She very much so.
And she was with you for 4 months. Did you form a bond with her?
Oh, I did. We took up together immediately. It was during the winter. She learned me how to play card games. Winter days, we'd sit there and we'd play. Baby'd sleep, we'd play cards. But we formed a bond.
Did you take her to doctor's appointments?
I did.
How did she seem to feel about becoming a mother?
She was very excited.
Did you have conversations with her about that?
I did.
Did she seem to fully understand her roles and responsibilities of what was going to be required of her?
She did. Megan practically raised her younger sister Charlotte and her brother Elijah, she had plenty of experience with younger children.
How did you know that?
Well, mostly from conversations with Megan, and just I could tell by the way she took care of Evelyn at the house. You know, she knew how to heat bottles, she knew how to change the diapers. She got up when the baby cried.
Did you ever have to tell her to do those things?
No, me and my husband never once woke up those 4 months when Evelyn woke up in the middle of the night. Megan would take care of her very well.
And I asked you, and I want to clarify that if you ever took her to doctor's appointments, she was with you when she was with you. She came to you pregnant. Did you go to the prenatal appointments?
I did.
And did you go to follow-up appointments with Evelyn's pediatrician?
I did.
Okay. So you were involved through the whole process, really?
Those 4 months, yes.
Okay. At some point in time, was Megan taken from your home and placed back somewhere else?
She done trial visits to go back to Tommy's.
Okay.
There was a process in the foster care system.
I understand.
She done weekend visits, or at first it was just visits, and then it led to weekend visits.
How did she feel about that?
She seemed okay with it.
Eventually, was Megan placed back in the custody and care of her family?
She went back to Tommy's house.
Tommy, you mean her father?
Yes,
Okay. And did you maintain contact with her?
I did.
How often?
We text back and forth over it wasn't a daily time, but I want to say once a month, couple times, sometimes couple times a week. It's just according to what was going on and what pictures she had took of Evelyn.
When you were talking to her, did you eventually learn that maybe things were kind of getting back off the tracks again?
I did. In April, I received a call from her foster care worker saying that Megan had been needed some help, and would, even though she had was out of the foster care system, would I be willing to go and help her out? And I said, no problem. So I called Megan. She told me that her mother had dropped her off at a church. She had drove off and left her and Evelyn there. She had took Evelyn's diaper bag, the baby's supplies. So I told her I'd be right there. I went and picked her up. We went to Walmart, bought baby bottles, formula, diapers, the stuff that a baby would need.
Where did you take her?
We went back to my home. She spent the night. Her and Evelyn they took showers, a good night's sleep. But then the next morning, she wanted to go back to her mother's family's home.
Where's that at?
Now, I'm not sure. The place that I took, her grandfather was in the hospital, and she wanted to go there to meet up with her family. So when she left my home, I drove her to the hospital in Kingsport, and she assured me that she would be perfectly fine, and her and Evelyn got out.
It'd be fair to say that Megan wasn't getting maybe the familial support from her parents that she was needing at that time.
Yes.
I imagine over this time, Ms. Kite, that did you ever meet Tommy Boswell Sr. or her mother, Angela?
I had never met Angela, but I'd met Tommy several times.
You said you agreed that she probably come from a dysfunctional family. Let me ask you this. She lived with you for 4 months and you stayed in contact with her after she moved out. It's your opinion, you know her, you talked to her. You think Megan ever knew what a normal family looked like?
No.
Did she crave that?
I think so.
Was she wanting that for Evelyn?
I think so.
Well, it's obvious why we're here today. You know why you're testifying. Are you asking this jury to just give her life?
I am, with the possibility of parole. This child has been traumatized. She's made bad mistakes that has to be paid for. But I think she deserves a chance to come back out to the real world. I don't think she's irredeemable. I think she can become a functioning citizen.
Ms. Scott, I thank you again. If you would answer any questions that the state has for you.
Nothing from the state judge.
Judge, we call Mary Boswell.
Lord bless this woman getting up here. I mean, my goodness, poor little thing. This is her grandmother, I think.
Raise your right hand and state your name for me.
Mary Boswell.
Father, you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about the truth, the whole truth,
Yes, sir.
I see what you see in that light.
Okay.
Is this Mommy?
Ms. Boswell,
Mhm.
I'm Gene Scott. How are you?
Pretty good.
We're here today because the jury's trying to decide how long Megan will have to stay in prison. I want you to, I guess, your name is Mary Boswell.
Not Mary Boswell.
Okay. How do you know Megan?
Sir,
How do you know Megan?
she's my granddaughter.
Okay. Are you Tommy Boswell's mother?
Yes, sir.
And obviously you've known Megan her whole life.
All of her life, I started keeping her from the time she was 2 months old till she was grown, off and on, not all the time, but off and on.
Why was that in part because of problems between your son and her mother, Angela?
Sir,
Was that because her parents were having
no,
problems?
she just loved me and her papa, and she stayed with us, and we loved her, and so we keep her a lot.
Were you aware of the violence issues between Tommy and Angela?
No, I didn't live in their home or nothing. I don't know nothing about what went on in their home, sir.
Okay.
We'd pick her up and keep her until she want to go back and like that, off and on.
And have you always lived down there on the same property Tommy lives on? Or
I've now lived there for maybe 20 years, 21 or 2 or something like that.
she lived there almost all Megan's life.
Yeah, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. And you're aware, you told me, I think one of Megan's role models was your husband, your late husband.
Sir,
Your late husband, he was one of Megan's role models.
yes, we loved her like she belonged to us.
Okay. When did he pass, ma'am?
11 years, 11 and a half years ago. Soon be 12 this summer.
So that would have been when Megan was, I guess, what,
Yeah, maybe 12 years old or
12
something.
years old?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that take an impact on her?
Yes, it did.
And are you here asking this jury for leniency today?
Yes, sir, I am.
Asking them not to give her a sentence of life without parole?
I hope they don't, sir. I love her like I hope they don't give her the sentence like that. I'd love to give her my home if I could take her home today. That's how much I love her.
I understand. Thank you, Ms. Boswell. Answer any Mr. Harper or Ms. Massey.
No questions, sir.
I'm glad they didn't put her through much more. I mean, just her getting up here and speaking, regardless of how we might feel about the situation with Megan or whatever. I mean, can you imagine dealing with this at this age? Your granddaughter has pulled this number. I mean, it's just. Okay, what are they doing? Oh, they're doing a sidebar.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll have you go with the officer for just a minute.
They're clearing everybody out, clearing everybody out.
Everyone,
Has Angela got up there yet? I mean, hearing this, and again, this doesn't, what's the words for it? Justify Megan's actions. Angela testified. I missed it. I'll have to go. Was it good? What'd she say?
You may be seated. Thank you.
I was on the phone. I missed Angela.
Megan, we've talked about this before. You understand you have a right not to testify.
Yes,
No one can force you to testify.
yes.
Oh.
We'll start this over since we didn't have the microphone up. Megan, you understand you have a right not to testify, and if you don't testify, the jury may not draw any inferences from that failure to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Likewise, you have a right to testify, and no one could keep you from testifying if you wanted to.
yes,
After consulting with me, Mr. Horn, and talking about your case and hearing what's happened here in court and all the evidence, do you wish to testify or not?
no,
You don't wish to testify?
I do not wish to testify.
And Ms. Boswell, you're still under oath from yesterday or the day before. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other proof? And before we bring the jury in, one thing that I forgot to do yesterday was when we excused the alternates, I took the contents of one of their books and the cover page, and I gave that to the court reporter, and that would be designated as Exhibit A, the letter A, for identification only, so that it's part of the record as to what those notebooks were. All right.
Okay, so there you go. You know what I mean? So what I was saying is, hearing the conditions of how Megan grew up obviously sucks, right? But it's to end up where we're at is insane. Are they going back up there? Yeah, she's not gonna say anything. I think they're gonna give her life without parole. In fact, please.
Judge, the state would introduce it.
Looking tricky. I wonder why they're doing that. And here's the thing where they're talking about, and I get that they want to get any win they can, but it's like, think about at age 69, you would be up for parole. What would you, I mean, because by then she could have had multiple relationships. She could, I mean, she's going to spend her entire life behind bars. So she could have gotten married to someone on the outside. She could have, there's numerous things that could happen. But nonetheless, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to be put out into the free world at 69. Which, I mean, granted, most likely you want to go, but I think at that point it'd be scarier to go. Imagine how different this place will look. Hey, Sherry. So she was guilty on all charges. They are doing victim impact statements. And I don't know if they're going to bring the jury out now or they sent the jury away, but I think they're bringing the jury back out. I don't know if they're going to go into sentencing yet or they're going to have the state present people. And the cameraman's just kind of rewinding and doing stuff with Megan's mother on the screen, or Megan's grandmother. I'm sorry, y'all. So far, we got 71% saying life without parole is probably what she'll get. Oh, and earlier, Sherry, thank you for the gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. For people who are new to the member side, so right now the members book club we're doing is Foreign Faction on John Bonet. So if you go to the members community post or whatever they call it, that's where you'll see some of the stuff up there. And then we'll have a members, maybe this weekend we'll do a members live chat to talk about this. And then we'll do another members live chat to talk about the book and all the stuff that goes with it. But I'll post videos of this stuff. I haven't posted one like a week because of this right here, but I'm almost done with the book. And I'm dying to talk about it. Yeah, sorry, y'all, but the yawns are kicking in over here. So I apologize. I've been sick. I had food poisoning the last few days, and I'm on day 3 of it. And I feel much better, but I'm definitely hitting that zone of like, I'm going to fall out. I know it's such good snuggle weather with the boys. They're at the other place right now with Matt. Why is he putting it there? Sure thing, Emily. Yeah, Akasha, I'm starting to honestly think that I had an actual stomach bug as opposed to food poisoning. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like, does the cameraman want 10 days in jail? Do you know how pissed off the judge is going to be when he gets back? He went this whole trial, and now for whatever reason they have freeze framed it. Well, they've gone now, but I mean, they freeze framed the live stream on the jury. But the judge might be back here talking about show me your thing. You see what I'm saying? They might have carted the cameraman off to jail. This judge didn't play around. This judge, food poison passes in 12 to 48 hours max. Okay, yeah. There might not be a live feed after this. they might be in holding cell. I mean, oh goodness. Oh goodness. If the judge, yeah, and so Leslie, hey Leslie, how are you doing today? There's technical difficulties, so they froze the screen on the jury. Yeah, Christina says the cameraman probably got tackled by the judge. Honestly, this judge probably catching charges right now. I mean, God bless them. I mean, I'm thankful that they get in these courtrooms and they do the cameras, and they do all this, and but like that right there, like when I came back from the thing and saw it, somebody's like, they're showing the jury. I'm like, oh my God, they are. Of all the places to freeze frame, um, the thing. I'm like, seriously? Oh, that's right. She did do the Susan Smith bow tie thing. Oh yeah, somebody just caught some jail time. Here's my thing, and I get this costs money in every county and all this kind of stuff. You would think at this stage of the game, they would start investing just for legal reasons, proper cameras and audio equipment in these courtrooms. Now I get where the camera crew wants to come in and do it, and like some of this stuff is outdated, like maybe new courtrooms are building like a place to be able to film from and this kind of stuff, whatever. But because think about how many times like now the audio in this trial has been stellar to me. Right now, I've listened obviously with my things in the whole time, so it makes a huge difference with that. But I mean, to me, the audio in this. But think of how many these cases we watch where you can't hear anything or whatever, and then as all the courtroom cougher, right? The absolute courtroom cougher. Shayna and I recently went to a hearing for Avante Devon, the case in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Pardon me. And we didn't have a courtroom cougher, but like the amount of just rumbling in the courtroom, and now granted, this is just like the roll call that they were doing. The amount of rumbling going on in the courtroom was insane. Yeah, the bow tie thing, I wonder what the psychology is. What do we think? Is there any kind of psychology behind the bow tie? Is it supposed to induce an innocent naivety that we're supposed to buy into? Girlish, yeah, girly. That's what I'm thinking. You're right. Calamity Jane says clearly the bow tie isn't working. Right. Yeah, Chris, the bow tie, the bow in her hair, yeah, not the bow tie, yeah, the bow in her hair. I was calling it a bow tie. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on.
Of course, I miss her, and like, I can't tell anything about the ongoing investigation, but they are. I'm sure you all have released an article about the car and stuff like that, so they have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're
We're gonna
watching,
watch this till it comes out.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if they're watching?
I just want her back. Yeah, it's my child.
I'm sorry, I know this must be hard. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about her? Do you have any pictures of her? Have you been looking?
Not on me, no.
Not on you. Have you been looking at photos and stuff of her while you're? How are you coping with all of this?
I just want her back.
If you could tell her anything now, what would you say to her?
I love her and I miss her, and I'll be with her as soon as I can get to her as much I can.
Is there anything that you can tell us about, like, what kind of baby she is? I know you said that it's hard to see.
She's a happy baby. She hardly ever cries. She wants to wave and talk to everybody. She walks funny. She doesn't know how to pick her feet up, so she kind of wobbles.
Is she talkative?
She is.
What,
She giggles a lot. You'll smile at her, she'll just start giggling. She's very happy.
And so you said she is talkative. Is it full sentences? Like, what milestones is she met? Like, is she a smart little girl?
She is. She hit every milestone early. She's not, she can almost say I love you. She's not fully got to sentences yet, but she does say a lot of words.
You must be so proud of her.
I am. When Baby Shark plays, she tries to like dance with them and sing it.
You said that's her favorite song. Do you do the puppet with her a lot? Mm-hmm. And I know all of this is very hard. Can you tell me, like, how you're feeling?
I just want her back. That's all I want.
Are you feeling worried or anything along those lines?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that at all?
Well, the reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her, and I didn't want them to run away with her. As soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. So I'm just worried about, like where they're at, what they're doing with her at this point in time.
So you do know who has her? Can you tell us who that is, or you don't?
I can't release anything further about that. I'm sure they will add to on the press conference, but further than that, I can't say anything.
And so you do know who has her. Are you worried about her safety?
Well, now I am, because they won't answer phone calls. They've just kind of disappeared.
What is it like to? I'm assuming that you trusted this person. How has this trust been broken? What's been going on with that?
It has definitely been broken after this.
Have you spoken to her father at all during this process? Are you having any support from
No.
him or from your family?
Yeah, my grandma's very supportive. She always is.
That's good. But you haven't spoken to him at all.
Mhm.
When was the last time you saw her?
In December.
In December. And what was that last day like? Was it a good day? I think it was about around Christmas, right? Can you tell me about that?
It was a good day. She had a little pink bow in her hair, a little Puma tracksuit on. It was hot pink.
And what, like, I know that you're hoping that she'll be returning shortly. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the person or people that have her that you think they should hear from you?
They should just bring her back. They obviously know like what's going on, and like they need to bring her back home.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you trusted this person. So when did you realize that trust might have been broken?
Well, when they just kind of took off and wouldn't answer anybody.
Around when was that?
Whenever this whole thing started.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit more about like how you're feeling? I know all of this is scary and everything.
It is. I just want her back.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think about. It's just get her back.
Anything the community can do to help you?
No. Other than look for her. I know they released the call information.
Part right there where the reporter says, "Is there anything the community can do to help you look for her?" And no, like that was so bizarre. And then she's like, "Other than," and it's just like the first thing, "No, don't look," That's so weird. Like, can we do anything to help you? Like, yes, please. Here's her picture. This is what she looks like. Check everywhere. Do this, do that. This is where she's supposed to be staying. If you're near there, please go there. This is the thing. Like, It was her knee-jerk reaction. No, I'm okay. It's like, I would love to know what the reporter thought of this, and like, when they were interviewing her, like what the reporter thought, because like there's so many red flags that went off, and these things right here where it's just like, in addition to the baseline of the story of she hasn't reported. Anytime you run into this scenario, hey, welcome back, Emily. Anytime you run into this scenario where a child has gone missing and the parent has not reported it, doesn't matter what reason. This is 100% red flag number one. Then as they just keep coming and coming and coming, it's like, okay, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Now, what we're doing is we are on break. There's some kind of air quotes technical difficulties. It looks like the jury was shown on camera. So right now the judge might be taking out everybody in the courtroom.
And the tag number and stuff like that. Just any leads at all, they need to like call so we can go check them out.
Has anyone like, have you gotten any information from me that's been helpful, or have you just kind of?
I don't really know. They've all been looking at leads and stuff like that. I mean, they are working their butts off.
Has the police department, I think the sheriff's office, been keeping you in the loop?
They have been.
How's that been going? Has that been good?
It is good.
Good. And I know that you said that you're getting a lot of support from your family. Are they like helping you going to courts and meetings and stuff with you? I know you've had a lot of.
Yeah, they didn't know I had court today. Or I'm sure my grandma would have been there.
Did you keep it from them? Or?
I mean, I just not really talked to them that much today, to be honest. And like I said, stuff was going on like while we were sitting in the courtroom, and I couldn't, well, not while, but like, waiting to go to court, and like I just couldn't tell her exactly what was going on.
So you said like obviously you can't share anything about the case, so you haven't been sharing with like your family or anything either.
No.
How's that? Not being able to confide in them?
I mean, the police officers are very nice, especially like Sergeant Matt Price and stuff like that. I can talk to him or like them, and they've been like really helpful this whole time. They really have been.
And anything else that you think that people should know about Emily, about like what makes her so special?
She's just a very sweet baby. She's got, the little dimples on her face.
Do you think she looks like you?
No.
Thanks,
she
Julie.
Dad, but she does have my eyes.
That's good. You have very pretty eyes.
She's the cutest baby ever. So you'll know it's her when you see her. She loves everybody. She tries to kiss everybody on the cheek. She tries to wave to everybody. She's very friendly. She's very friendly and sweet. So.
But apparently that wasn't enough.
When hopefully you're reunited with her, what will be the first thing that you do?
Thank you, Jackie. And you know what? Let's do that.
I know that sounds weird. Like I miss how she smells and like her laugh and like everything. I just want to hold her.
So I know that this must be, you're missing the baby. And then there's been trust broken, right?
We're going to rewatch Angela
Tell me swear
Boswell.
firm testimony you're about to give be the truth.
While we're waiting.
Have a seat. So if you'll pull the microphone down and talk straight into that microphone. Actually, you know what? I need to switch these.
So John is reporting from court TV that the judge ordered the cameras off for the rest of sentencing per court TV. I'm telling you, the judge doesn't play. if they showed that, which they was not, if they did, they showed the jury. And I'm not sure if it's over that, but I can imagine that's what it is.
Ready to go, Judge? Ready. Ma'am, state your name for the record.
Angela Boswell.
You are Megan Boswell's mother.
I am.
Ms. Boswell, you know the purpose of being here today.
I do.
I want to ask you some about Megan's home life and growing up, but I guess I want to ask you first a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
And I'm asking you these questions, Ms. Boswell. I'm not trying to embarrass you or
No,
cast any
no, sir.
aspersions.
No.
You married Tommy Boswell when you were how old?
First time 15.
You speak into that microphone just a little more, please.
The first time 15.
And when did you become pregnant with your first child with him?
I had my first in April and turned 16 in July. So,
Okay, and who is that child?
Tommy Jr.
And then you had Megan at some point. How old were you when you had Megan?
There's 8 years difference. I was almost 24.
It's okay. So let's talk about Megan's life growing up. Would it be fair to say that during her lifetime, she's witnessed drug use between you and her father?
Yes.
What type of drugs?
Opiates, mainly.
Scoot up and speak into that so the jury can hear you.
Opiates, mainly.
Did that drug use lead to other problems?
Yeah. Arguments, fighting, yes.
Okay. You say there
Strife
strife.
is what it brings, yes. Nonstop.
Is that something that went on pretty much her entire childhood
Yeah.
growing up?
Yeah, from the time she was pretty little, yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Good. Now, did she witness fights between you and her father?
Yes.
Okay. I think at some point her father was convicted of aggravated assault and kidnapping.
Yes.
Were you the victim in that?
Yes. Mm.
Do you remember ever taking Megan to any NAAA meetings with you?
Yes, I did.
How old was she when you did that?
She was probably about 7 or 8. First ones I started taking her to. 7 or 8, 8 or 9, somewhere around in there.
Now due to the strife in your home, was she raised by her grandparents to some degree?
Yes.
Okay. And what were their names?
Mary and Danny Boswell.
Okay. Mary Boswell, would that be who's known as a mommy?
Yes. Mm.
These problems, do you feel that it's partly your fault, the problems Megan's experienced?
No, absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Now, unfortunately, your problems, that they went on up into, we saw a video in here, you being brought down from the jail to talk with her in 2020.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So even up until the time she went to jail, you were in and out of jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I've been.
Have you been convicted of numerous crimes?
Yes.
Now, have you managed to straighten up at this point?
I have, yes.
Are you hoping to?
Yes. I pray every day and just, to do my best and try. I've learned the importance of a mother's role, but not for Megan, I didn't.
All right.
I failed her on that miserably.
And you're here asking the jury to give her a sentence of life as opposed to life without.
It's Maggie is at her core. She is a generous, kind-hearted person. And all Maggie's went through. Maggie still has potential. You know, she was trying so hard. You know, she didn't repeat my mistakes. Maggie learned from my mistakes. And she was trying to do better with Eve. You know, she wasn't repeating. And I think she got saddled with, you know, just because of my mistakes that she did. That was not it. That was not the case with Evan.
Would it be fair to say she didn't have a good role model for the mother should
No,
be?
no, she did not.
Answer any of Ms. Massengill or Mr. Harper's
Mm.
questions.
I don't have any questions, Judge.
Okay. I wanted to rewatch that. I didn't see that one. I mean, it is what it is. This is just all around. You just see this train wreck coming from every angle after this trial. So what it sounds like has happened, and I think John or somebody updated us, they have removed, we're not going to see any more of the trial of the sentencing because of them showing the jury. So they pulled all the cameras and everything, I believe. I don't know if they're going to play it or not. Does anybody have word on if they're going to finish it or is it a wrap? Let me go back to my thing over here. I think that I think they are done. Okay, so this person on Twitter is showing T on Hunter. A few people, this is Adrialyn F. Who is this? She is a content creator from Scotland, United Kingdom. The Scottish Courtie discussing true crime and covering live trials and cases. She says that in her tweet, she says, a few people have asked me questions regarding Megan Boswell on and off again boyfriend Hunter, Preston Hunter Wood. He's not going to testify. He's in a mental hospital. His father said he suffers a lot of mental health issues, especially due to being called a baby. You know what? I did find an interview he did, though. He says he had no relationship with baby Evelyn. Interesting. Edit their feed. Yes, it is rap because of the camera stream. Okay. So we will find the sentencing out at some point. This is probably what we're going to do. We'll end things now because nothing else is going to be taking place. And we'll either do a live chat maybe later tonight once we have all the information in. And kind of like go back over and whatnot. Where we left off at is they had wrapped up, it seemed, doing the defense's like character statements. Megan said that she is not going to be testifying. And then that's when they yanked everything because they showed 4 jury members when Megan's grandmother took the stand. This is a huge no-no. The judge has been very, we're lucky this happened now and not before, right? Because the judge doesn't play. I mean, he's like, I will throw you in jail for doing this and doing that. And blah, blah, blah. I don't know, Dad watched the defense. No, I'll look that up, Leslie. So yeah, so that's what we'll do. So that is it. Megan justice has been served for baby Evelyn. And it's basically, it's either going to be life without parole or life with parole. If she gets life with parole, she'll be 69 years old if she lives that. I mean, a lot of people don't even live that long. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're at. And so if people who just joined, just keep in mind what took place as a camera person, showed the jury. Judge has yanked cameras for the rest of sentencing. Judge is done with it. He's over. So there you go. So we will reconvene. I'll post something if we're going to go live later tonight. Definitely Sunday evening, going live with Dr. Barry to talk about the case. So if you think of any questions you want to have, email me or jump on the live chat. I'll post it as it gets closer. I love y'all. Emily, Tori, Indy, thank you for being here and making everything possible. Thank y'all for getting through this horrid trial. And that's it. Y'all have a good one. We will probably meet back here around 7 o'clock tonight. So I'll post it though. I love y'all. I will talk to y'all soon.